Captain Planet and the Planeteers, issue number 5 from Dynamite Comics. Oh boy, this issue is something. We have reached a point of glorious, beautiful chaos. This is the issue that made me ask one question over and over. Is this a climactic battle for the fate of the Earth? Or did the writer and artist have a bet to see who can confuse me more? We got Earth mechs, psychological torture, backwards neck, and Linka punching a hurricane. So we open with the flashback of Ghana. We're showing Kwame's village on fire. He's helping his uncle rescue civilians when one woman screams that her daughter is still inside the house. Now, obviously, Kwame's going to go in. He's the Earth guy. He's noble. He's the hero. It's a serious emotional moment. Kwame is the hero rushing into a burning building to save a little girl. It's supposed to be tense, but I just can't take it seriously because the character expressions look like they're from a much sillier comic entirely. Like, I've mentioned in previous videos that the art is, it's a mixed bag. But this issue, the faces have achieved a whole new level of what in the world am I looking at. It's this weird, uncanny valley where the bodies are drawn decently, but the faces look like they were traced from a meme. They're the kind of faces you'd see on mannequins if mannequins suddenly gained sentience and wanted to audition for daytime soap opera. It just completely undercuts the drama, and I'll be honest, it had me laughing out loud. Yeah, the action is fine, the backgrounds are fine, but those faces, they haunt me. So Kwame saves the girl, but the tree falls and crushes his leg, tragically ending his soccer dreams. You know, classic origin trauma moments. We've heard about this in previous issues, so nothing really new here. Anyway, we cut to the present where Captain Pollution is basically doing his best Storm cosplay. He's using the power of synthetic rings and channeling Gaia's power to whip up a massive hurricane. Buildings are flooding, civilians are screaming, just total chaos. Kwame steps up and tells Guy and Linka to focus on rescuing civilians while he takes on Captain Pollution. And we get something kind of cool here. Does he use his power over Earth to create barriers? To maybe trap Pollution? Nope. He builds a freaking Earth Gundam. He pilots a giant mech made of rock and dirt to throw hands with Captain Pollution. And you know what? I can't even hate it. It's so stupid, it's brilliant. It's a kind of over-the-top power escalation nonsense that I live for when it comes to comics. This single panel is more interesting than the entire last issue. It's just a shame that the fight isn't the main focus of this issue. Meanwhile, back at Plunder Tower, Mahdi and Wheeler are on a mission to find Wheeler's missing ring. They run into some guards, and this is where the comic's moral compass goes completely haywire. So Mahdi, our hero who represents Heart, uses his ring to do something truly horrifying. He doesn't make the guards feel a little sad or anything. No, he forces them to relive their worst fear, their most shameful moment, and their most heartbreaking moment all at once. Like, this is psychological warfare. This is straight up torture. Wheeler, the hot-headed American, he just knocks out a guy with a fire extinguisher. Clean, simple, physical solution. And then Mahdi has the audacity to tell Wheeler, I don't hurt people. Buddy, forcing someone to mentally relive the worst trauma of their life is arguably way more damaging than a concussion. The sheer, unadulterated self-righteousness of that statement had me laughing. I would take a fire extinguisher to the face any day over having my deepest psychological wounds whipped open and displayed against my will. This isn't Heart. This is something a Batman villain would do. You are the CIA's wet dream. Physical pain goes away. Trauma sticks forever. Don't give me this I don't hurt people nonsense. So all that moral train wreck is happening, we hard cut to G and Linka. Their job was to save civilians from the flood. And how do they do that? By suddenly flying a private jet that they stole from Plunder. And I'm sitting here like, wait, what? When did this happen? How did they get back to Plunder's building, find a hangar, commandeer a multi-million-dollar aircraft, and take off without running into Monty, Wheeler, or any of the guards we just saw? Did they just walk out of the tower with the keys like, don't mind us, borrowing your multi-million-dollar aircraft? The comic completely off-screens this entire sequence. This issue is riddled with these narrative shortcuts. Feels less like a story and more like a highlight reel, where someone forgot to include the context for half the plays. Also, when the hell did Linka become a pilot? And Linka, speaking of her, when she's flying the jet, has the most out-of-pocket line. She says, "My father always argued redistributing wealth wouldn't solve our problems. But if that's true, why does stealing Plunder's private jet feel so satisfying?" First of all, Linka, that's not redistributing wealth. That's just theft. You're not giving it to the people. You're using it for your own mission. Redistribution means spreading resources for the common good, not, "I'm going to joyride in your Gulfstream." She then complains that the jet has a push-button ignition. Typical American decadence. Linka, that's how jets work. It's not a 1992 Honda Civic. They don't use little keys with fuzzy dice. This isn't decadence. It's basic aviation engineering. That's just how airplanes work. Do you want the pilot fumbling with car keys at 30,000 feet? So G jumps out of the jet mid-flight to rescue people from drowning, which, okay, heroic. But she falls from a huge height, hits the water, and she's just fine. Hitting the water from that height is like hitting solid concrete. I don't care if you have water powers. You don't get to turn water into a trampoline. At least show her riding a wave slide like Iceman or something. But nope, she just appears on the surface. One panel she's jumping, the next she's just in the water. Fine. So we got another jarring off-screen moment. She then proceeds to save, and I quote, 15 people. Like you can see the 15 people right here on this panel. And the comic presents this as everyone in the entire city. Like literally everyone in the entire city. Linka asks, "Did you save everyone?" And G says, "Yeah, I saved everyone in the city." This is just 15 people. That's it. So I guess this entire metropolis has the same population as a view count I'll get on this video. Also in one panel, I'm pretty sure one of the civilians has their head on backwards. I think this guy's dead, Guy. You might want to put him back. He's not celebrating Earth Day ever again. Meanwhile, Wheeler and Mahdi are snooping around Plunder's office when Commander Bleak bursts in with his goons, and they've got their guns drawn. And do they use them? No, of course not. They just start fist fighting, because why would you use ranged weapons you're carrying when you can grapple with the eco-teens? I guess Commander Bleak does use his gun stock to smack Wheeler across the face, so I guess he's technically using his firearm, but why not just shoot them? It's like they're playing by some unspoken rule of engagement. Anyway, remember earlier when Mahdi said he doesn't hurt people? Yeah, well, he gets a bunch of giant snakes to attack the guards. Not to scare them, but to, look, the snakes wrap around the guards' faces and necks. They are quite clearly being suffocated. But I guess in Mahdi's mind, because the snakes are doing the suffocating and he's just the one mentally commanding them to do it, his hands are clean. And he still insists, "I don't hurt people." Sir, you are basically Saw with a monkey companion. You're using the jigsaw defense of, "I don't kill people, the traps do." It's just a wild logical leap from our paragon of compassion. We come back to Guy, who's magically in the jet and piloting it. When did that happen? Off screen, of course. Linka's also outside on the wing, and their plan is to have her dive into the hurricane and punch it. And I wish I was making that up. We don't even get the satisfaction of seeing the punch. She just assumes this cool DBZ style pose. There's a flash of light, and then she just says she punched it. The hurricane is gone. Okay, whatever. That's how meteorology works, I guess. Anticlimax doesn't even begin to describe it. And that's where I'll stop because I don't want to spoil everything. So where does that leave us? Was this issue any good? Well, it was okay. On the positive side, this issue did dial back the heavy-handed message that plagued earlier issues. It had some cool moments like Kwame's Earth Gundam and Linka going full one-punch woman on weather, though I would have liked to have actually seen that rather than her just telling us about it. On the negative side, almost everything else. Plot is a frantic, disjointed mess held together by off-screen moments, weird jumps, and logical leaps. Dialogue that feels like it was written during a bad improv class. Some of it was pretty laughable at times, but I guess it got the job done. The character motivations are all over the place, especially Monty's descent into psychological torment. And the art, while serviceable in most parts, just completely undermines emotional moments with bizarre facial expressions, which are just basically nightmare fuel inducing. This issue feels like someone speedrunning the finale. It's chaotic, it's often dumb, but I can't say it's boring. It's a beautiful disaster. It's the comic book equivalent of a car crash involving a recycling truck. It's a mess, but you can't look away. It was definitely entertaining in the what the hell am I reading sense. So what did you think? Did you enjoy the Rock'em Sock'em robot action? Am I being too hard on Monty's new torture methods? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, do the planet a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more reviews. Helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching. Till next time, remember, power is yours to make questionable moral choices. Anyways, I hope you enjoy. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.